everyone, John Cottrell here of MBODY Yoga in Salt Lake City. Welcome. This is a 60-minute Power Vinyasa Yoga practice. So glad that you're here. So in this 60-minute yoga class, we're going to be focusing on one of my favorite types of poses, and that's back bends. Back bends in yoga are heart openers. We're not going to do just the typical back bend, but some variations of back bends that I really enjoy doing and teaching. So one of our featured poses is actually dancer pose. It's a balancing posture, but it has a back bend element to it. So we'll be incorporating that into our practice today. Alrighty, so we need to get started, but let's start with our props. Now, I like to use blocks. Now, sometimes I'll pull in a block for balance or bring the floor a little bit closer to me. So you're welcome to grab some yoga blocks if you happen to have them. If you don't, maybe some books like dictionaries, something stackable that you can use for your practice if you'd like. We'll have those nearby if you need them. Anything else that you would like, if you'd like to use a blanket or a strap or anything like that for your practice, go ahead and grab those and be sure to have some bottled water nearby too. Okay. So let's go ahead and begin. We like to start in mountain pose. So I invite you to stand near the top of your mat with your feet about hip distance apart. We'll take a few deep breaths. You might breathe in through your nose. You can exhale through your nose or through your mouth. You can do that again. Nice full breath in and exhale. Maybe one more time for good measure. Very nice. Just a nice way to get in tune with your body to help settle in. While we're taking this time together, since we're doing heart openers, this is also a good time to set an intention for your practice. Since we'll be opening our hearts and our back bends, think of opening your heart and receiving what you're needing today. And to fully move into that intention, feel free to close your eyes, moving inward, and just think about what you're needing. Continue with slow, steady breaths. Excellent. Just continue with this nice, full breath flow. As you're breathing, you want to feel your breath rising upward to fill up your lungs. Really expand your heart area. And when you exhale, as you're able, draw your navel inward toward your spine. Nice connection to your core center. Again, we'll inhale, feel very tall, nice lengthened spine, breath rising to fill up your lungs. And your exhale, drawing navel in towards spine. And when we do that, we create the abdominal lock. This is a great way to help stabilize the body. Helps us to move the body as well. It's going to help us with balance. Since our dancer pose is going to incorporate some balancing, we want to engage our core center. Let's add a very simple movement here, just some rolling of the shoulders. Since we'll be working with our arms in some of our back bend postures, we want to make sure that we're bringing some attention to our shoulders. So you might take some big circles like this with your shoulders. You might roll them backward, and then maybe roll them forward. And even just a simple raising of the shoulders up toward your earlobes and then pressing down. Do that 2 more times. Just a nice lift and release. One more lift and release. And then maybe just shake out your arms and hands. Very nice. Just a few more breaths here. Just getting our bodies and our minds ready for our flow. Take 3 more breaths. Let's begin our movement with a half salute to the sun. When you're ready, inhale, extend your arms overhead, a good reach and stretch. Exhale, let's fold forward, so a good hinge from your hips. Bend your knees as much as you need to as you make your way downward towards your toes. Inhale, slide your hands up to your knees or thighs to extend your spine so you have a long, flat back right here. Then exhale, we'll fold. We're going to hold our forward fold, and as you're able, just hang heavily forward. If you need to, bend your knees a whole lot more. Let your fingertips touch the ground. Let your shoulders go loose, and even your head and neck. Give them a little shake.
We're in a forward fold, and of course this is kind of the opposite positioning of a back bend. So while in this position, you can feel that lengthening and stretch quality all down through your back, even a stretch through your hamstrings, and again that release of shoulders. So again, you might want to circle your shoulders, backward, forward, and even nod yes, shake your head no, just help release any tension in your neck, upper back, and shoulders. Now we'll shift the weight back into the heels, bend your knees, feel like you're sitting down into a low chair, or start to look forward. That will start to re-extend your spine. Take your arms out to the side, drive your heels into the floor to help stand up, straight legs, reach up into the air, big stretch here at the top, then exhale, bring your arms down by your side. Very nice. Another breath in and out as we hold mountain pose. Let's do that sequence one more time, our half salute. Whenever you're ready, inhale, extend your arms out and up. Nice lengthening of the sides of your body. Exhale, leading with your heart, fold forward. Bend knees as you need to, touching the ground. Inhale, sliding the hands up the legs to extend your spine to half forward fold. Exhale, let's go back down. Just a brief pause here, just to feel the nice release and our forward fold position. Shifting weight back into the heels, bend your knees, look forward, take your arms out to the side, then inhale to stand up nice and tall. Reach even higher as you're able. Exhale, arms back down by your side, returning to mountain pose. Samastitihi. Very nice. Just a pause, another deep breath in and out, and we'll continue with our sun salutation, series A. Here we go. Inhale, reaching up, good energy through your fingertips. Exhale, let's fold forward with soft knees. Make your way downward. Take your time if you need to. Inhale, rise up halfway so the top of your head leads you forward, long, flat back. Exhale, bend your knees enough, folding, so you can bring your hands to the floor and step both of your feet back into plank pose. Let's hold here for a moment. Nice, strong, straight line in the body. Pretty similar to standing in mountain pose, except we've added upper body strength. Let's take a breath in. Now on this exhale, bend your knees slightly, then send your hips up into the air. This is a shortcut to downward facing dog. I like to throw this in just as an option for you. Other sequences will go through that full vinyasa where we'll take chaturanga into up dog, but sometimes we can get a little tired, so you might just want to skip part of that, and you can just move right into down dog from plank pose. Let's hold here for a couple more breaths. Being sure your hands are pressing firmly into the floor. Strong hands for a base. Long, straight arms for strength and stability. Hips high. Breathe in. As you exhale, walk, step, or hump. Both feet up to the top of the mat. Inhale to extend your spine. Exhale to fold. Weights in the heels, bent knees. Inhale, reverse your swan dive. Come all the way back up. Reach even higher. And exhale, arms down by your side. Well done. Right away to series B. Inhale, sweep your arms out and up. Exhale, let's take chair pose or a chair-like position. Imagine you're sitting back into a chair that's behind you. Breathe in. Exhale, dive forward, back down towards toes. Inhale, rise up halfway or just a good extension of spine. Exhale, bent knees, rounded back, hands to the floor, walk or step, or jump both feet back into plank pose. That strong, straight line in the body. Breathe in. On the exhale, you can take the shortcut to down dog or bend your elbows, lower your chest and body down towards the floor. Inhale, pull forward and press into the ground to lift chest facing forward for your upward facing dog, which of course is a down dog. And with the next exhale, onto toes, lifting hips into the sky, downward facing dog. Maybe a slight adjustment with your feet, maybe your hands, and we'll continue with the flow. Inhale, extend right leg up behind you, reaching long out behind you. Exhale, let's bring right foot near the top of the mat. Left heel turns to the floor. Make sure you put good pressure in that back foot. Your torso extended over thigh. Inhale, rise up to warrior one, facing forward, arms up into the air. Exhale, hinge at the hips, fold. Bring hands back down to the ground. Let's step back into plank pose. Take your shortcut or complete the series. Bend elbows, come down in a straight line. Inhale, up dog. Make sure you have nice long legs, pointed toes behind you. Exhale, downward facing dog. Arrive in the pose. Then inhale to extend left leg up, reaching long behind you. Good energy. Exhale, left foot now to the top of the mat. Right heel plants into the floor. Again, put good pressure back there. Your torso extended out over the left thigh. Inhale, hinge, rising up, reaching into the air, first warrior. Exhale, hinge again to fold. Bring hands back down to the ground. Step back into plank pose, completing the series as you'd like. We'll meet up together in downward facing dog. Let's hold in down dog for a moment. Take the opportunity to really extend spine. Since we'll be doing some back bends, a nice relief for the back bend is actually lengthening the spine. So you have the hands pressing firmly into the ground and hips lifting into the air. What will help you lift your hips is to put some softness in your knees. Okay, we're going to go down to the floor. From here, you can just bend your knees, kneel down, sit back briefly in hero pose, and then sit off to the side, swing the legs around to the front, and then scoot so you're sitting in the center of your mat so you can roll down onto your back. I'm just going to adjust my mat before I lie down. Now, we're going to move into bridge pose. We're going to modify this first one, okay? Because I want to give you different variations of your back bends that you can perform today. All right, so go ahead and lie down. Be sure you've got your blocks or books, those things that are stackable. You're going to lie down with your knees bent, feet flat on the ground. And just have your arms just down by your side. Take a few moments, take a few breaths in and out, and really just allow your body to relax here. We're getting ready to engage, but first just feel this nice relaxed state of body before we activate. Make sure you've got your blocks or books ready to go. We're going to move into what I call supported bridge pose. First, take a nice full breath in, fill up your lungs. Exhale, engage belly, even feel your low back press into the floor. And near the end of that exhale, lift hips away from the ground, slide your blocks or books underneath you, and sit on the blocks, right there. So we have a nice support system for this opening of the front body. I'm just going to do a little adjustment with my feet, just feel a little bit more secure. You can stay just like this, but you can even add the upper body. Right now I'm just kind of flat on the ground, but to really open up and expand through the chest and create more of that back bend flavor, you can take your shoulders a little bit more underneath you. So you might just rock left and right a few times, and I'm just kind of getting my shoulders underneath, right there. And then your arms can just come down by your side. You can even bend elbows. This might even feel a little bit more comfortable with your shoulders underneath you, like this. And now I'm not really engaging too much, because I'm sitting on the blocks, but I'm allowing the whole front body to begin to open. So just take some deep breaths. Now remember, you can always come back to this pose as your back bend. We're going to be moving towards a full wheel pose eventually in our practice. Now we'll break it down as we make our steps toward that position, but you can always pause and back up if you need to, or even just continue to practice this nice supported back bend. Go ahead and take 2 more breaths. After the second breath, we're going to lift the hips away from the blocks, slide those blocks out from underneath you, and then slowly come back down to the ground. Now remember, a nice relief for the back after a back bend is to extend. So go ahead and lengthen the legs out in front of you and then your arms behind you, and then reach in these opposite directions, just to get that nice lengthening throughout the whole torso. From here, we're going to hug both knees into chest. Just hold them here for a moment, because this is going to be one of the ways we're going to get into one of our back bends, surprisingly. You'll find out later. But just hug the knees in and flex your feet. Just feel this sensation for a moment. Now, we're just going to rock forward and back. We're going to rock up to a seated position and come to boat pose. So with a good exhale, rock your way up. Here's our boat pose right here. So feet are still flexed, nicely energized. Your knees can remain bent with shins perhaps parallel to the floor. You can hold on to the bent knees here as a way to help lift yourself up, lengthening the spine. You want to feel like your sternum is being lifted here, really getting some more of that heart opening expression. Okay, let's move. We're going to breathe in first.
Exhale, cross legs, hands in front, up or step back, plank pose. As you're able, come down, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, and exhale, downward facing dog. Let's continue our flow here. Inhale, extend right leg up. Hold for the extension, really press into the ground with the hands, reach through your toes behind you. We're going to open this up. You're going to bend your right knee, bring your heel down towards your backside, and simply lift your knee towards the ceiling. Doesn't have to lift high. It's just a little opening in the hips. Inhale here. Exhale to unwind and then step through. Right foot to the top of the mat. Left heel plants into the floor with good pressure. Inhale, rise up, warrior one. And then exhale, opening to warrior two, right here. I like to take my feet out a little wider, lunging a little deeper, just to get a nice opening in the inner thighs. Energy through the arms, reaching across the room. Side angle pose from here. So reach forward with your right arm to angle the upper half of the body. Then rotate your arms. So your right hand comes down, left hand reaching up. We're going to do a few things here. One, a side stretch by bringing left hand overhead so you can get that lengthening through the left side of the body. Let's hold that for several breaths. While your right arm is kind of braced against the right inner thigh, so you get a little stretch and release here. Hit this left hand straight up again. Now you're going to bring this left hand down behind you to your low back. Here or even your left hip. I'm just going to bring mine to my low back. We're going to take some circles, big circles, exaggerate this with the shoulder in its socket. Circling backward 3 to 5 times. And that last time, just hold it back. Again, some more opening through the heart space. 2 more breaths. Remember, we're doing back bends and it does involve shoulders. We want to make sure we got some good flexibility and mobility in the shoulders. Let's inhale, re-extend left hand up. Turn, bring hands to the floor, step back, plank pose. I'm going to pause here, re-lengthening through the body. You're welcome to take the full vinyasa or take the shortcut. Bend the knees, hips to sky. That's what I'm doing. I'm taking the shortcut. Right here, feel that nice full re-extension of spine. Ready for the other side. So we'll inhale, extend left leg up, hold, reach through the toes behind you while hands press into the ground, straight long line. Then bend the left knee, bring heel down towards backside. A simple lift of the knee towards ceiling. Bit of a twist and opening. Breathe in. Exhale to unwind, step through, left foot to the top of the mat, right heel plants. Inhale, rise up, warrior one. And our exhale into warrior two. For me, same thing. I like to take the feet out a little wider, more distance between the feet, lunging a little deeper. Side angle, reach out with the left arm to angle the upper half of the body. Rotate your arms here so left arm can brace against the left inner thigh to encourage the left inner thigh release. And then the right hand reaching straight up initially. We'll get that side body stretch by reaching right hand overhead. While the hand is reaching this direction, be sure your right foot is pressing firmly into the mat. That will create some good length. Let's take this right hand straight up, and then bring right hand down behind you to low back, or to your right hip. I'll take mine to low back, and then 3 to 5 circles, big exaggerated circles with the shoulder. Just to help get some nice mobility here. Hold it back on the last one, opening up through the chest. A couple more breaths. Let's inhale, re-extend right hand straight up into the air. Exhale, turn, hands down to the ground. Step back, plank pose, straight line, hold. It's a nice realignment posture as well. Let's take another shortcut to down dog. Bend knees, hips into the air. Adjust feet, maybe hands. And also just take a moment just to really pay attention to maybe spread out fingers, pressing palms flat into the mat for a strong base. Even look at your arms, strong and straight, how you feel the activation in your shoulders and upper back. Breathe in. When you exhale, walk, step, or hop, both feet to the top of the mat. Inhale to extend spine. Exhale, fold. Let's hold our forward fold for a moment, releasing head, neck, and shoulders. Now shifting weight into the heels, bend your knees.
Look forward.
Inhale, reverse your swan dive. Come all the way up to standing. Reach up into the sky. Exhale, arms down by your side. Excellent. All right. Now, our dancer pose, one of our featured poses today, is a balancing posture. So let's start preparing the body for balance. Let's do tree pose. First, just standing nice and tall, mountain. I'm going to try to mirror you here. You're going to start shifting your weight over to right foot, pressing foot down into the floor, nice and steady. And inhale to grow tall, lifting, expanding through the lungs. Exhale, engage core. That will help with balance, floating left foot up, flexing the foot to keep the leg energized, swinging knee out to the side and placing foot on the inside of your standing leg. Let's inhale to extend arms up, reach high. Exhale, navel to spine to engage your core center. Good energy of reaching into the air. Deep breaths. Let's keep the arms extended. Let's go ahead and swing that left knee forward, lifting knee with the flexed foot. Plant the foot down into the ground and then bring your arms back down by your side. Feel free to roll those shoulders again, or you just shake the arms out. That's a lot of energy that we put into poses like that. So even take a moment just to kind of shake things out if you need to. Okay, other side. Start shifting weight now into left foot, press firmly into the floor. Your inhale to help rise, lengthening through spine, core or heart opening. Exhale to core connect. Let's flow to the right foot up. Maybe your thigh comes to parallel, nice flex foot there, swinging knee out to the side, and then plugging foot to the inside of the standing leg. I always go to my calf. You can always bring it up higher, above the knee to inner thigh if you'd like. Inhale, reach into the air, reach and stretch. Breathe deeply. Focus on something out in front of you or even down on the floor. It's okay if you wobble. It's okay if you need to step out of your pose. It's all a part of the centering effect. We'll keep arms extended. Go ahead and swing right knee forward, lifting your knee with the flexed foot. Plant the foot back down into the ground. Arms come down to your side. Shake it all out if you'd like. All right, let's go through a nice flow. We're going to come back up to standing so we can start breaking down our dancer pose. Mountain pose here. Move when you're ready. Inhale, reach into the air. Exhale, swan dive.
Inhale, rise up halfway or lengthen spine. Exhale, hands to the floor, hop or step back, plank, come right down, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog, or cobra pose, which I'll demonstrate later. Exhale, downward facing dog. When you're ready, inhale, extend the right leg up, bend and twist. So bend the knee, lift the knee, a little bit of a twist in the spine, hip opener. Unwind on the exhale, step through. Left heel to the floor behind you, we're ready for warrior one. And inhale to rise up. Exhale, opening warrior two. Nice flow here, side angle, reach out, rotate the arms. We'll take left hand just straight up and then bring it down behind you. Let's take 3 circles of the shoulder. 1, 2, 3, hold it back, open up through chest. Let's take this left hand to the back of the room, up and over your head. Imagine like a second hand on a clock, reaching over your head, and then turn. So you can bring hands down to the floor. Step back, plank pose, come down, chaturanga. Let's do cobra pose here. So cobra, you don't have to lift up all the way. Long legs, pointed toes, hands on the ground. Roll shoulders away from the ground. And just barely lift the chest. But feel like you're pulling yourself forward. You're dragging yourself across the room. That will take any tension away from the back body. Breathe in. And then exhale, downward facing dog. So that's another variation of a back bend that you can certainly choose. Let's inhale to extend left leg up. Bend and twist open, right there. On the exhale, we'll unwind and step through. Left foot to the top of the mat. Right heel plants, nice and firm. Let's inhale, float up, first warrior. Exhale, opening to our second warrior. Right away to side angle. Reaching out, rotate arms, reaching straight up and down just to feel the opening of the torso. Bring right hand down behind you to low back. 3 circles here. 1, 2, 3. Hold it back, open up through chest. All right, big circle with this right arm. Reach into the back of the room, up towards the ceiling, now towards the front of the room. Turn torso towards the front, Fold and bend, hands to the ground, step back, plank, come on down, chaturanga, up dog or cobra, downward facing dog. Jump, step, or walk, both feet back up to the top of the mat. Inhale to extend spine, and then fold. Weights in the heels, bent knees. Inhale, reverse your swan dive. Come up to standing, reach even higher. Exhale, arms down by your side. Good. Get a sip of water if you'd like. What I like about all these arm extensions, like in Warrior 1 and Warrior 2, it's also helping to open up the shoulders as we're preparing now for some more back bends. All right, let's start stepping into dancer pose. Now, dancer pose is a balancing position, much like tree. So just do this with me. So we're standing, mountain pose. I'm going to turn sideways for this one. Start shifting your weight into your right foot. Just plant the right foot strongly into the ground. With your left foot, you're going to kick the foot back. So bend the knee, kick your foot back, and maybe flex the foot there. Squeeze inner thighs towards each other. They don't have to touch necessarily, but squeeze to center line. And keep a little softness in this right knee. Let's take both arms up into the air here. Reach. Keep right arm extended. This left arm is going to come down. You're going to catch either the outside or the inside edge of the foot. All right, if you can, catch the inside, and I'll show you why in a moment. Reaching up into the air. Softness in this right knee. This is as far as we're going to go. Just hug to center line, meaning feel as if you're squeezing the thighs together. They might touch, or even imagine you've got something between the knees, like a block or a pillow, and you're squeezing it. As you reach high, and this left hand reaching behind you, holding onto the foot or ankle. Go ahead and release that left foot down to the ground. Re-extend left arm up into the air to align the whole body, and then arms down by your side. Shake it out. Now you probably couldn't see what was really happening with my left foot here, so I'll do this right side, and actually I'll show you right here. So when we hold on to the foot, let me just show you this. If we hold on to the foot from the outside, the shoulder could potentially just kind of remain neutral and roll forward like this. But what happens when we take hold of the inside, we spin the palm out and then catch inside like this, which creates a nice opening for the shoulder. Either one's fine, but this will help to encourage the opening of the shoulder here. Let's do the other side. Mountain pose for balance. Let's start with that softness in the knees. Then start shifting weight into the left foot. Plant that foot. Kick the right foot back, flex the foot to keep the legs strong, squeeze thighs towards each other. We're balancing on one foot. It's almost like tree pose. Extend both arms up into the air. Keep left arm extended, bring right hand down. Either catch the outside, or here's the inside. So I'm spinning the palm open, which outwardly rotates the arm, opens the shoulder so I can catch inside edge of foot or ankle. Squeeze to center line. Hold here for balance. Next time through, we'll take more of the back bend style of the posture. This is just for balance now. Let's release the right foot down to the ground, reconnect. Both arms up into the air for alignment. Arms down by your side. Shake it out. Excellent. Alrighty, we've got some more poses to do. Get a sip of water. I'm adjusting my mat. We're gonna do some more work on the ground. Let's work our way down. Mountain pose. Let's inhale, extend arms up into the air. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, monkey or extend spine. Exhale, bent knees, hands to the floor. Hop or step back plank, come right down, chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or cobra. I'm doing cobra here. Exhale, downward facing dog. Hold down dog for a moment. Hands press firmly to the floor. Strong arms. Engage shoulders and upper back. Loosened neck. Bent knees, hips high. Couple breaths. We're adding a new back bend here. Bring your knees to the floor. We're going to stay on hands and knees for a moment. All right, just follow these instructions. So you can have long legs right here, flat feet. Tap your right foot, just tap it, and then just swing that foot off to the right side. It might even swing right off the mat. Keep the knee on the ground. Lean a little bit to your right side as you extend this left leg back. So you're lifting the knee, extend the leg back, but keep the foot or your toes on the ground here. We're just going to continue opening up to the left side of the room, taking left hand up into the air, just like this. Very much like side angle pose, okay? Except we're just kneeling. Let's add a little bit more. Let's take this left arm overhead, reaching energetically through your fingertips. Now I'm turning my palm so it's facing down. This just feels a little bit more natural for the shoulder. Now, with a little shift of weight towards right hand, this front hand, I can flex this left foot and lift it off the ground. So I'm reaching energetically in these opposite directions. Now we're going to add a back bend. We're going to bend this left knee, bring heel towards back side. Take the left hand, reach back. Just go ahead and catch the outside. It'll just be easier to catch. The outside, right here. And then even send the foot way back behind you towards the wall that's back there. Okay, or the right side of the room. And this kind of creates a little bit of a back bend, especially if you feel your belt line, your belly kind of move forward. And even your head, imagine you were standing and you're looking up at the sky. Okay, so your head might be tipped back a little bit. Let's release, re-extend the straight line, reach like that, and then return to the floor. Hand and knee, bring in that kickstand, that right foot back here. Let's do a series of cat and cow. Inhale, lift head and heart, arching the back. This is cow, which is a back bend. Exhale, round it out, which might bring some nice relief. A few more times. You can do as many as you want here. Just a nice undulation of the spine, getting some nice fluidity through the back, and movement through the pelvis. When you're complete, let's take a little break by sitting back into hero pose so you can take some of that pressure off the hands here. Feel free to even press the tops of the hands like this into the ground very lightly, not too hard, just to get a counter stretch because your palms were this way, your hands were this way, a forced flex. So this way we'll just kind of counter stretch. And of course we're going to do that same, what I'm just going to call a sideways back bend. Let's come back out to hands and knees and we'll set up for the other side. When you're ready, tap left foot, swing it off to the left side. That's just helping you to stabilize. Lean a little bit to your left, extend right leg back, lifting the knee, straight leg, toes on the ground. Continue opening up to the right side of the room, extending right hand up into the air. It's basically a variation of side plank, but we're going to turn it into our sideways back bend. Let's extend right arm overhead. You might spin the palm so it's facing downward for a little bit more neutrality in the shoulder. A little bit more tension in this left hand so we can pick up the right foot, flex the foot to keep that leg strong. Reach in these opposite directions. Now bend right knee, bring heel towards backside. Reach now with this right hand to catch the outside portion of the foot or ankle here. And I'm going to send my foot towards you or the left side of the room. Heart is moving towards the right side of the room. And again, imagine you're standing and looking up at the sky. Just a gentle tip of the chin up or away from the neck. Breathe. Okay, let's take some balance here so you might find yourself wobbling because I just did. Let's go ahead and release, re-extend the arm and leg, reach. And then turn, right hand and right knee back down to the floor. Let's bring our kickstand back in. Maybe just 3 breaths here, cat and cow. Inhale, look up or forward, arching the back. Exhale, round. Do 2 more at your own pace. And after that, just sit back briefly in child's pose. You might even take the knees a little wider here, sit back and down, and then extend the arms. Bring forehead down to the floor, or you can even bring in a towel or pillow or a block. Just a few breaths. I like this pose because it does 2 things. It lengthens the spine because your hips are moving to the back of the mat while your hands are reaching forward, so there's a lengthening effect. But there could be a slight rounding of the back here too. Nice counter pose to the back bends. 3 more breaths down here. We're going to get ready for our second version of bridge pose. Bring your hands a little bit more underneath you so you can press and lift yourself up to hero. Sit off to the side, sit down, swing the legs around to the front. Sit in the center of your mat and lie down. Now you can do version 1, which was the supported back bend with your blocks, okay, if you want to. Lying down, knees bent, feet flat on the floor. I like to take my feet a little wider than my hips. That just feels better for me. It feels better for my knees and my back and hips. But first, just take that nice, comfortable, relaxed lying down posture. Take a few breaths. We're moving into our second variation of bridge, where we're lifting the hips. We have to hold ourselves up, though. Breathe in, fill up your lungs. Exhale, engage belly, peel away from the ground, lifting hips. There we are. You can stay like this, or let's rock upper body left and right several times to get the shoulders underneath. I like to bend elbows here. Pressing elbows and triceps down into the floor to help stabilize the posture and help me lift a little bit more. I really can feel the activated body. Feet planted into the floor, strong thighs. I even feel my hamstrings and glutes. This is great for your glutes, by the way. Nice opening for the whole front torso. Breathing deeply to expand through the lungs. Okay, so our second version of bridge, another back bend for us. If the elbows are bent here, just bring the palms down to the floor and just see if your fingers touch your feet. You don't have to change anything to get them to touch the feet if they don't. Just notice where they might be in relationship to your feet. Okay, now wiggle your toes forward, extend your arms straight up into the air to release the shoulders out from underneath you, and then roll your way back down to the ground. If you're using the blocks, just remove the blocks and come back down. Let's all take a nicely extended stretch through the whole body. Once again, bring knees to chest, hug them in, pause for a second, flex feet. Again, we haven't gotten to that other pose yet where we're going to be doing this setup, okay? Next time through. Rocking forward and back. Good exhale, rock your way up to boat pose. Still activated feet. You can even straighten the legs here if you want, maybe even point your toes. Different variations of boat. We're going to move right away. Breathe in. Exhale, cross legs, hands in front. Upward step back, plank pose. I'm just going to take a shortcut to down dog. You can go through the full series. Nice re-extension of spine. Inhale here. Exhale, float both feet up to the top of the mat. Inhale, more extension of spine with a fold on the exhale. Weights in the heels, bent knees. Inhale, reverse your swan dive. Let's come all the way up, reach high. And exhale, arms down by your side. Alrighty, let's get into our next version of our dancer pose. Arms going to turn sideways again for this. Softness in the knees. Shifting weight into right foot. Kick left foot back, flex the foot to keep it strong. Let's take both arms up into the air, reach. We're going to get a lengthening effect. Keep right hand up, bring left hand down. Maybe spin palm open so you're going to reach to the outside, the inside edge of the foot. Now my leg pulls away when I do that. All right, to catch the inside, that means that I need to squeeze towards center line to get that balance. Now here's the next part. Bend the right knee a lot more, like you're going down in an elevator. And then tip the whole body. I usually say tip the scale. Or to even imagine like you're pouring a kettle of water from a tea kettle. And then extend, reaching out with the right hand, left foot reaching back behind you. You can do that again if you want. Bend right knee, go down. Tip your tea kettle, and then extend, reaching out. And this is what creates the back bend, the balancing back bend of dancer pose. Let's rise back up. As you're rising back up, inner thighs meet each other. Release left foot to the ground. Left arm straight up into the air for balance and alignment. Arms back down by your side. And that's dancer pose. Let's do the other side. Find a nice connection. It's always nice to come back to mountain, take a breath. Softness in the knees. Weight in the left foot. Kick right foot back, flex it. Both arms up into the air, reach. Keep left arm up. Right hand comes down, spin palm open, reach behind you, catch inside edge of foot.
Again, my leg pulls away, squeeze to center, squeeze the imaginary pillow between the thighs. Stay here or bend left knee more. Tip to pour your tea kettle, then extend, reach out with left hand and right foot behind you. Again, bend left knee, go down, pour more water out of the kettle, reach more, opposite directions. It's almost like you're reaching out and lifting up. That's what creates the back bend. Dancer pose. Rising back up, squeeze to inner thighs, releasing right foot to the floor, both arms up into the air, arms down by your side. Excellent. Shake out those shoulders. All right, more flow here. Inhale, float both arms up. Exhale, swan dive. Inhale, monkey pose. Exhale, hands to the floor. Hop or step both feet back. Plank pose. Come on down. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, extend right leg up. Bend and twist open. Unwind it, step through. Right foot to the top of the mat. Left heel plants. Inhale, float up. First warrior. Exhale, second warrior. Side angle pose. We're going to do the exact same sequence here. Rotate arms, reach down and up. Reach left hand down behind you. 3 circles with the left shoulder. 1, 2, 3. Hold it back, open chest. Second hand on the clock, left hand reaching out, up and over, turn. Hands to the floor. Listen carefully. We're going to step back, plank pose. Bring knees to the floor. Make a kickstand with the right foot. Extend left leg back. Open up towards the left side of the room. Okay, we're just reopening this same side. Reach left hand overhead. Lift left foot. Extend. Back bend. Bend the knee. Reach back. Catch probably outside edge. Open. So I'm sending, just like in dancer pose, you ascend the foot back behind you. That creates the back bend. Release, re-extend. Turn, back to hands and knees. 1 cat and cow. Cow pose, into cat. Tuck toes, lift knees and hips, down dog, re-extend spine. Other side, inhale, extend left leg up, bend and twist. Unwind, step through, left foot to the top of the mat. Right heel plants. Inhale, float up. Exhale, opening warrior 2. Side angle, rotate arms. Reach high and low. Right hand comes down behind you. 3 circles with the shoulder. 1, 2, 3. Second hand with the right hand to the back of the room, up towards ceiling and overhead. Turn torso, fold, hands to the floor, step back, plank pose. Both knees to the ground. Big kickstand with the left foot. Extend right leg back, open up towards right side again. Side plank variation. Reach right hand overhead. Flex right foot to lift the leg. Nice extension, bend the right knee. It's our back bend, our sideways back bend. Catch that foot if you can. Send it behind you, much like that dancer pose. Heart and chest, I'm feeling it move forward. It's almost like this little counterbalancing act. As the foot and hand back here, that's facing you, is going in that direction, my heart is going in the opposite direction of that foot. Let's re-extend and turn. Hands to the floor. 1 cow, 1 cat, child's pose. A little relief here. Good extension and some relief for the back body. Breathe into your back body as best as you can. There's a lot of back bending which might affect the low back area, that lumbar spine region, the erector muscles there. So you want to send some good breathing into that section. Take your time with this. All right, I'm going to do 2 more back bends on the floor here. Let's rise up to hero. Sit off to the side. Swing legs around to the front. Alrighty. Actually, just watch. You can just take a seat, grab your bottled water, and take a few sips of water here while I demonstrate this next pose. I'm going to lie down just to allow the spine to relax. Just sit comfortably and watch this for a moment, and then we'll do it together. Now remember that setup I showed you? We brought knees in, flexed feet. Now we're really going to put this into use. Let me show you some things that can happen with this, okay? So what we're going to do, we're going to make the letter C, like if you knew sign language, make the letter C with your hands, and then grab hold of your ankles like you're grabbing your bottled water, for example. Grabbing the ankles. You're going to take a breath in. As you exhale, bring the feet to the ground, touch ground, and then lift hips up into the air. Shoulders will get underneath you, so you can see I'm holding on to my ankles. Now also check, because for the most part my knees are aligned straight over my heels or ankles, and the feet are planted into the ground. Okay? Now, if you do this, this may happen, but it may not happen. Let me release. I'm going to release my feet, wiggle toes forward, reach up so I can safely come back down and extend. Okay, so I can get set up. Now, this is what can happen sometimes. Okay, I'm going to set it up again. Just watch. Bring knees in, grab ankles, watch. I'm going to see if I can do this. Feet come down, hips go up, but this might happen. As you lift, your body might shift forward. I'm doing this on purpose. Where I'm shifting forward, my knees are way out past my ankles, and even my heels have lifted. If this feels like this is happening to you, this is my suggestion. Release the ankles, come down perhaps, get the feet forward, then relift. Okay, because we want to have that straight line of knees over ankles or heels for good stability. Alrighty? So that's the intention. All right, let's go ahead and lie down on the back. Join me here. Now, of course, you're still welcome to go back to our supported bridge using the blocks, or a regular bridge, as we did the second time through. Deep breaths here. But you can even attempt this grabbing of the ankles effect. It is a deeper back bend. All right, bring knees into chest, flex feet. Make the letter C with your hands. Grab hold of the ankles from the outside like you're grabbing your bottled water. Breathe in. Breathe out. As you're exhaling, bring the feet to the floor. Once they've planted and you're completing the exhale, lift hips. Check in. Does it feel like your knees are jetting forward? Are your heels lifting? If that's the case, release the ankles. All right, and then just wiggle the feet forward. And maybe your arms are down by your side. Remember earlier I had you bring your hands down and maybe your fingers touched your heels? That's fine for this. You don't have to grab hold. Okay, so another version of bridge. 3 more breaths. If you are holding on or just touching the feet or ankles, release. Wiggle the toes forward, we're making space so we can get out of this pose. Extend arms up into the air, roll down, extend, reach. Hold here for several breaths, because that was a deeper back bend if you made it that deep. All right, hug knees into chest again. Rock your way up to seated. Okay, just take another comfortable seat. I'm going to show you one last back bend, and that's wheel pose. Wheel, and that's basically just a full back bend. Now I'm going to see if I can do this. It's been a while since I've actually done a full back bend, okay? So bear with me. But here's a way that I really like to do this. Let me just turn forward for you for a moment. One thing that I've noticed when I've done back bends, we talk a lot about, a good alignment. And so, like in a back bend, imagine I'm like starting to be in a back bend. Like your arms and hands are kind of at this nice, even alignment here. The shoulders and elbows are nicely aligned, and then your legs would be the same. Knees right over ankles and align with your hips. Now for me, if I'm in that position, starting to lift up, I feel bound. I don't feel like I have enough space to even get into the pose. Okay, so I like to take my hands out much wider, taking my feet out a little wider, making sure I still have the stability that I need and leverage so I can lift up. Let me see if I can show you the difference. Just continue resting. Now I'm going to lie down, preparing. So I'm going to keep my knees and feet about hip distance apart. I'm going to bring my hands up by my shoulders, like this. My fingertips are pointing towards my shoulders. Okay? And I'm actually squeezing everything towards midline. Navel's pulling in towards spine. My inner thighs are squeezing towards each other like I'm holding onto that pillow. And then the same thing is happening with my elbows. Squeeze to center, palms pressing into the ground. I'm going to take a nice full breath in. I'm going to exhale and just lift hips. Inhale again. Exhale, press into the floor and lift. Now, like I said, I can lift, but I really feel like I'm struggling because I don't have a lot of room. My shoulders just don't feel like they've got the mobility to lift myself all the way up. So I'm going to come back down, okay? So I'm going to take my feet out a little wider, much wider for me, making more space in the hips. I'm going to do the same thing with my hands. Instead of the fingertips pointing directly towards my shoulders, they kind of spin out a little bit. And that'll help my wrists, okay? So my hands are a little wider, making more space in the chest and shoulders. Breathing in, exhaling, lifting hips. Okay, I have good leverage. My elbows are right over wrists. Another exhale to lift and press. See, that felt much better. See how I just went right up? To get out, tuck chin in towards chest, coming down, bend elbows for good leverage, coming down and extending. Reach. All right, let's give it a try. Let's go ahead and lie down. You can join me. Don't forget, you do not have to do that full wheel pose. Go back to any other version of your back bend for your final practice. If you are going to attempt the full wheel, you can join me. Bent knees, feet on the ground. Hip distance or wider, whatever feels best for you. Take hands up behind you. Maybe it works best for you to keep them at shoulder distance. For me, I like to take my hands out a little wider. My fingers are kind of spun out a little bit. It just feels better on my wrists. And then making sure the palms are really flat on the ground. Think about down dog when our hands are flat on the ground. And if you can turn your head, look at the alignment of elbows over wrists. You want that alignment. Breathe in. Exhale, just lift hips, just hips, as if you're doing bridge. And maybe this is the end of your segment. Stay here if you want to, that's fine. Just to practice the arm placement. Next, exhale if you're able, press into the floor with the hands, lift. Opening up through the chest. I'm not going to stay here long, I'm tucking chin in towards chest, coming down. And extending arms and legs. Come down whenever you're ready. Lengthening. Our bodies really want to kind of roll up into a little ball after doing a back bend. But remember, the best thing for the spine, especially after a back bend, even a forward fold in fact, is to lengthen. You can even come down to a shavasana just to relax the shoulders. All right, so that's the end of our back bend practice. Let's cool down now. So maybe come down to this shavasana. We're not done yet. We have a few more poses. We have some restorative positions to do, but maybe just come to this relaxing position. Go ahead and hug knees into chest. And I like to do a little rocking here, just rocking left and right, forward and back. You can kind of create this little ball effect, okay? So now it's okay, because we did the extending part. Now it probably really feels good to hug knees into chest. Even lift chest up towards knees, creating that curvature in the spine, and then a little massage. Circles, rocking, whatever feels good here. And certainly breath to accompany all of that. And once you're done with that, let's take a twist. We'll start by taking both knees over to the left side, extend right arm over to the right side. This is wonderful as a restorative position. After doing back bends, since the back bends, really hit the low back a lot, especially the poses that we did. And so a little twist and rotation can help stretch some of those muscles that got worked. Slow, deep breaths on this first side. This is also a good opportunity as we're moving slowly and coming towards the end of our class together. A good time to come back to your personal intention. You did all those heart openers. Were you able to open your heart to receive what you needed today? Take 2 more breaths. And then you can come back up to center. And down to the other side when you're ready. I can already feel my body appreciating this twist. So just notice that feeling of perhaps satisfaction. Also the satisfaction of knowing that we're coming to the end of our class together. We did a lot of good work. Our dancer pose practice with a variety of other back bends. 2 more breaths. Then return to center, perhaps 1 more hug. Knees in, even lifting chest towards knees to create that nice rounded effect. And then we'll extend the body. Extend the legs out front. Even reach the arms back behind you. Inhale, dynamically reach in these opposite directions. And then when you exhale, just arms down by your side. Let everything relax. Notice the feet kind of fall open. Legs go heavy. Hips relaxed. Feel your whole back just melt into the ground. Shoulders, arms, hands. Find your breath. You're welcome to close your eyes, take your journey inward, thinking about your personal intention. You're certainly welcome to keep your eyes open, just gazing softly upward. Feel free to stay here as long as you need to. Knowing that we really engage the body. Take as much time as you need for that resting period. Once again, just hold here as long as you'd like. Even as I end the practice, you're welcome to stay just like this, no worries. And when it is time to move, just go ahead and take 5 slow, deep breaths. Just bringing your awareness back to your breath. And notice how the breath is moving through your body, bringing movement back into your body. Take your time. And as movement returns, take your time, move in slow motion and roll onto either side of your body into a nurturing pose. You might pause here for a moment. Take a nice deep breath or 2. And then continue to move very slowly and guide your way up to seated. I'm going to sit nice and tall with an extended spine. Maybe crossing your legs here. Again, 1 more circle of the shoulders and let your arms relax. Hands just resting lightly in your lap. Take another breath. Very nice. And one more movement together. Inhale, extend your arms into the air. And exhale, bring your palms together and down to your heart. Hold here in stillness. Take one more breath in and out. And as we come to the close of this portion of our journey together, we bow, saying, Namaste.